Have you ever wondered if people long ago thought about the same things we do today? It might seem like our world of smartphones, video games, and fast internet is completely new. We live in a time of incredible technology, but the big questions that we ask ourselves are not so different from the questions people asked thousands of years ago. Ancient thinkers, people we call philosophers, spent their lives wondering about happiness, friendship, and how to live a good life. They looked for wisdom. And this old wisdom is surprisingly useful. It is like a hidden treasure map that can help us build better technology for our modern world. These ancient thinkers were like the first great explorers of the mind. They didn't have computers or laboratories. They had their thoughts and their curiosity. A famous philosopher named Socrates, who lived in ancient Greece, believed that asking questions was the best way to learn. He walked around Athens asking people, "What is justice?" or "What is courage?" He wanted to make people think more deeply about their own ideas. This method of questioning and learning is still incredibly important. It is the very first step in creating anything new, from a simple app on your phone to a giant rocket that travels to space. The link between this ancient way of thinking and our modern technology is stronger than you might think. Every time a computer programmer tries to solve a problem, they are using a kind of logic that ancient philosophers would have understood very well. They break down big problems into smaller, manageable parts. This is a skill that thinkers have practiced for centuries. When designers create new products, they think about how people will use them. They ask if the product will make life easier or more enjoyable. These are questions about human well-being, the same kinds of questions that ancient philosophers cared about so much. So, when you hold a smartphone in your hand, you are holding more than just circuits and glass. You are holding a piece of a very long story. It is a story about human curiosity and the search for knowledge. The same spirit that pushed ancient thinkers to understand the stars is the same spirit that pushes scientists today to explore our universe. The desire to connect with others, which led philosophers to write letters and books, now helps us create social media and messaging apps. Old wisdom and new technology are not separate worlds. They are connected by the timeless human desire to learn, grow, and understand. One of the most powerful ideas from the ancient world comes from a philosopher named Aristotle. He was a student of another great thinker, Plato. Aristotle was interested in everything. He studied animals, the weather, and how people think. He believed that the best way to understand the world was to observe it carefully and organize what you see into categories. This simple idea of sorting and classifying information is the foundation of so much of our modern technology. Think about the music app you use. It doesn't just have a messy list of every song ever made. It has playlists, genres, and artists, all neatly organized so you can find what you want to hear. This method of organization is everywhere. When you search for something on the internet, the search engine uses incredibly complex systems to categorize all the information on billions of web pages. It does this to give you the most useful and relevant results first. This is a modern solution to an ancient challenge. How do we make sense of a huge amount of information? Aristotle would have been amazed to see his ideas about classification working at such a massive scale. He spent his time organizing his observations about plants and animals into groups. Today, computers do the same thing, but with data, and they do it in the blink of an eye. Another key idea from the past is the importance of ethics. Ethics is the study of what is right and wrong. Ancient philosophers, especially a group called the Stoics, thought a lot about how to live an honest and responsible life. They believed that people should think about the consequences of their actions. This ancient concern is becoming more and more important in the world of technology today. People who create new technologies have a great deal of power. They must ask themselves ethical questions. Will this new invention be used for good? Could it cause harm to people or to society? These are not easy questions to answer. Think about artificial intelligence, or AI. It is a technology that can learn and make decisions on its own. The people who build AI systems have to think very carefully about fairness. They must try to make sure the AI does not treat some people unfairly. They are using the ancient wisdom of ethics to guide the development of a very modern tool. They are trying to build technology that is not only smart, but also good and helpful for everyone. This shows that the old questions about how to act responsibly are just as relevant in a lab coat as they were in an ancient toga. Let's look at a specific piece of technology, the algorithm. An algorithm is just a set of rules or instructions that a computer follows to complete a task. It sounds very modern and technical, but the basic idea is ancient. A philosopher and mathematician from ancient Greece named Euclid created a famous algorithm. It was a step-by-step method for finding the greatest common divisor of two numbers. He wrote down the instructions so clearly that anyone could follow them to get the right answer every time. This is exactly what computer programmers do today. They write clear, step-by-step instructions for computers to follow. These algorithms now power so much of our world. When you use a map app on your phone to find the fastest route to a friend's house, it is using an algorithm. The algorithm looks at all the possible roads, considers the traffic, and follows a set of rules to calculate the best path for you. This problem-solving process is a direct descendant of the logical thinking developed by people like Euclid. They established the idea that complex problems could be solved by following a clear and logical sequence of steps. Without this ancient foundation of logical thought, we wouldn't have the powerful and helpful algorithms that we rely on every day. Another amazing technology influenced by old ideas is social media. On the surface, it seems like the newest thing possible. But at its heart, social media is about community and communication, two things that ancient thinkers were very interested in. The Greek philosophers often gathered in a public place called the Agora. It was a marketplace where people came to talk, share news, debate ideas, and build relationships. They believed that being part of a community and discussing ideas was essential for a healthy society and a happy life. Does that sound familiar? It is very similar to what people do on social media platforms today. Of course, there are big differences. The ancient Agora was a physical place, while social media is a digital space. But the human need behind both is the same, the desire to connect with others. Philosophers like Epicurus believed that friendship was one of the most important ingredients for a happy life. Social media platforms are powerful tools that allow us to maintain friendships with people who live far away. They help us form new communities based on shared interests. By understanding the ancient human need for connection, we can better understand both the good and the bad sides of these modern tools and work to make them better. Why does all of this matter? Why should we look to the past when we are trying to build the future? The answer is simple. Wisdom helps us use our knowledge in a better way. We can create amazing technology, but ancient wisdom helps us ask important questions about how we should use it. Technology can be a powerful tool, but like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. Ancient philosophy, especially ethics, gives us a framework for thinking about the choices we make. It encourages us to build things that are not just clever, but also kind, fair, and beneficial for humanity. Imagine two teams building a new educational app. One team only focuses on the technology, making it fast and flashy. The other team also thinks about the ideas of a philosopher like Plato, who believed that education was not just about memorizing facts, but about learning to think and become a good person. This second team might design their app to encourage curiosity, critical thinking, and collaboration. Their app would likely be much better and more helpful for students. By combining modern skills with ancient wisdom, they can create something that is not only technologically advanced, but also deeply human. The world is changing faster than ever before. New inventions and discoveries appear all the time. This can be exciting, but it can also be a little overwhelming. The wisdom of the past can act as an anchor, a steady point that helps us navigate these rapid changes. It reminds us of the things that don't change, the importance of friendship, the search for happiness, the need for community, and the value of living a good life. These timeless ideas can guide us as we decide what kind of future we want to build with our new technological powers. They help us make sure that our progress is also making us wiser. So the next time you use a piece of technology, take a moment to think about the long story behind it. See the connection between the ancient philosopher asking questions under a tree and the modern engineer designing a new app. The human journey is a long one, and we have been gathering wisdom along the way for thousands of years. By respecting both old wisdom and new ideas, we can learn from the best of both worlds. We can use our incredible technology not just to do more things, but to live better lives. And that is a goal that the ancient thinkers would have definitely approved of.